Why do you constantly put off things you know you need to do? You know the task is important. You also know that delaying it will only make things worse. But still, you don't take action. Maybe, like me, you tell yourself things like, "I'll start tomorrow. I need to be in the right mood. Let me just finish this game. I'll handle it later." But tomorrow comes and nothing changes. So, why does this happen? Why does the brain avoid the things we know we must do? Let's get started without procrastinating. The interesting thing is this: your brain doesn't see this as a problem. In fact, from your brain's perspective, procrastinating is often the safer choice. To understand this, we need to go back way before modern life. For most of human history, survival depended on energy. Food was scarce. Danger was everywhere. An injury could mean death. Under these conditions, wasting energy on the wrong task could carry a massive cost. Therefore, the brain developed a simple rule: avoid unnecessary effort. Before taking action, the brain would ask, is this worth the energy it will take? If the answer was uncertain, conserving energy was safer. And this tendency helped our ancestors survive for hundreds of thousands of years. But the world is different today. Our responsibilities are usually emails, deadlines, projects, exams. None of these are physical threats. But the brain still evaluates effort using that same old system. When a task seems difficult, uncertain, or overwhelming, the brain interprets it as a potential threat. And when something feels like a threat, the brain prefers to avoid it. This is exactly where procrastination begins, and the brain quietly shifts your attention elsewhere. Maybe to your phone, maybe to social media, maybe to something easier. Because easy tasks generate a small dopamine release. They feel safe and doable. And compared to a difficult task, they feel instantly rewarding. So the brain makes a simple calculation: why struggle now when we can feel good immediately? And without realizing it, you put off the task once again. This isn't laziness. This is an ancient survival mechanism developed by your brain, trying to conserve your energy. But there is another crucial factor: uncertainty. The brain hates uncertainty. If a task lacks a clear starting point, if it has no clear outcome, or if there is a high chance of failure, the brain becomes cautious. Because of this, hesitation resurfaces. The task just sits there. It waits. Sometimes for hours. Sometimes for days. Sometimes for months. So, how can this cycle be broken? The key is not motivation. The key is reducing the perceived threat. Start with something very small. Make it so small that the brain doesn't see it as costly. Open the document. Write one sentence. Work for 5 minutes. Once action begins, the brain updates its calculation. The task is no longer an unknown. It becomes doable. Another helpful method is clarity. The brain resists vague goals, but it accepts clear steps. Not finish the entire project. Just write the introduction. Action reduces uncertainty. And uncertainty is exactly what feeds procrastination. That is why procrastination is not a character flaw. Procrastination is the result of an ancient brain trying to conserve energy in a world that no longer requires it. Once you understand this, you stop fighting with yourself. Instead, you work with the system. And slowly, the brain learns that the task in front of it isn't a threat, and it begins to cooperate. Thank you for watching, guys. On this channel, we explore the primal roots of modern psychology. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.